This is Project Infinity, where we start in the void with nothing but this island, and we interrupt this broadcast to ask you to scroll down, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified upon the next broadcast. On to the video. There we are. It spawns me in a hole. Okay. We don't need most of these. You start with a cornflower. There is EMC, but that's way down the line. Because in order to craft the Philosopher's Stone, this is the crafting recipe right here. So it's going to take quite a bit of work before we start getting to working with EMC or anything like that. But let's start with the quests. There's a shop where we can spend apotheotic coins, including to get potion effects. The goal would be to get creative flight. We can get strength, regen, and resistance, but these cost ascended coins, which is each ascended coin is 81 of these apotheotic coins. The base stuff down here, like water breathing, slow falling, those cost 16 of these apothic coins. There's a useful items section. We do have Ultimine, but it's up to 128 blocks instead of 64. There is the muffling mod, like normal. Always need that, especially if we're going to do mechanism. There is no villager trading, and there's no traveling merchant, which is fine by me. This will be useful eventually, but it's a bit of a ways down there. We need a beacon. This will just build multi-blocks for us, like the quantum computer, and then there's a bunch of custom multi-blocks. So we can have it make our blood magic and stuff like that, but then there's also stuff like this. The Advanced Awakening Altar. The Awakening Altar is from Mystical Agriculture. And so this is just the advanced way so that you can do automation on it. But that is a bit of a ways down there. We're going to start at the beginning. The quest line is made by Who the Hell is Nico? Welcome to Project Infinity 0.1. This chapter will get you started to your journey. I think it's on your journey. Throughout this pack, you will earn a resource called Apothic Coins. You can spend them in the shop quest chapter. Click on the big coin icon to the top left of this, or navigate to the shop quest chapter manually to see all that is offered. You get 2 oak saplings and 48 pieces of bread. There is a lot of dimensions for us to go to, 3 different mining dimensions: the hunting dimension, dungeons, the end, lost cities, Twilight Forest, and the Nether. Of course, we gotta start with wood and pebbles. Give us on dynamic integration, that's fine. So we now have a stack of bread. Let us get started by mining our tree down, just like in any Minecraft pack ever. I did not get any of those saplings. We are going to move this. We don't want to break the mana flash. That is currently lighting up our entire base right now. We'll do the twerk to grow. Grab some more wood. Hopefully actually get some saplings. We did. Fantastic. Okay, that's wood. The other thing that we need to do is that if we right-click the grass, we get pebbles. So this is going to get really loud for a second, so let me just mute it and do this. I have a macro that just clicks really, really, really fast. So we're going to go ahead and get enough pebbles to do a stack of cobblestone. And now we can turn our volume back on. Just didn't want to blow out people's eardrums. We're going to drop it to 32%. Loud enough for us to hear, but not so loud that it's an issue. And then we're just, I think the next quest is to turn it into cobblestone. Yeah. So we're just gonna shift K, turns it into cobblestone. Quest does give us an apothic coin and more pebbles. This one gives us just an apothic coin. Alrighty. So first things first, we will make a crafting table. There is no crafting station. I believe there is crafting table on a stick, but I never end up using it. So I'm not too concerned about it. We're gonna put this right here. And we want a crook. We can also make wooden rods from Armor Plus. I have no idea what they do, but we are going to actually move our tree to over here. And we'll crook some leaves, break some logs, and the cycle repeats. We'll be doing this again and again and again, just until the crook breaks, and then we can move on. I have played more of this pack in testing than I have with any other pack we've played before. Mostly because I was just really enjoying it, but I did want to play it on stream, so I decided that I should stop playing it until I was actually on the stream. Gives us another crook, that's fine. I don't really plan on using it again. But let's go ahead and get these silkworms going. Not a tree I want to use for this. I want a big tree if possible. Bigger than that would be better, but this one works just fine. While that is growing, that's going to get us string so that we can start sieving. We have a quest to make a hammer. I believe the hammers in this are made this direction. They are. Fantastic. Go ahead and throw down 8. We'll hammer it into 16 gravel. Every time you hammer in this mod pack, it doubles. So, 8 cobblestone turned into 16 gravel. 4 gravel will turn into 8 sand. 4 sand will turn into 8 dust. Boom. That completes the quest, which gives us compressed, plus another apothic coin. I think the first thing I'm going to do for storage is quickly make a barrel, or a drawer, actually. In this mod pack, they made drawers way easier to get. Just costs a chest instead of a chest plus a bunch of other wood. And yeah, so we're just going to start stockpiling these apothic coins so that we continue using them all the way through the end of the pack, which is down here in the Avaricia questline. It's to get all the infinity stuff here, but the end game is actually up here. There's a lot that goes into these. Infinity 12 is really the end of the pack. Infinity 12 is this craft right here, which is insane and is used to create creative items. Creative mana pools, creative solar panels, creative storage cells, creative jetpack. I don't know why you would want a creative jetpack if you can get creative flight. Why have an additional thing on your hotbar and stuff? But yeah, this is how we get our creative items. It's a really far down there. So I playtested this game for a while, and I am in my test world, nowhere near even getting Infinity 1. This one. Infinity 1 looks simple. Requires Ignitium, Plastic, Eclipse Alloy, Awakened Supremium, End Steel, Draconic Cores, Terra Steel, Black Iron, and Neutronium. You can, instead of using Eclipse Alloy, you can use Isnium. It's the same craft, and these are of the same difficulty. Within this, most of these are relatively easy to get. Awakened Supremium, we just need to set up that automated advanced fusion factory. Not too hard. Plastic sheets from Pneumatikraft we can actually do through Mystical Agriculture. End Steel's not difficult. Ignitium is the hardest. Because yes, we can do it through Mystical Agriculture, but it takes a tier 5 seed, which is an elite craft, including 8 blocks of Ignitium. So we're going to have to kill Ignis, who drops 1 Ignitium ingot. 1 to 3, I think, is actually his drop rate. We're going to have to kill him. If he only drops 1, that's 9 times 8, which is 72 times. But we need Ignitium for other things. Yeah, so this craft right here is going to take a while, especially if we want Ignitium to be automated. Terra Steel is actually one of the easiest things in here to automate, besides plastic. Eclipse Alloy seems difficult to automate, but it really isn't with the Eclipse Alloy. It's relatively easy. Isnium might be easier, but I don't think so. It's another tier 5 seed, so it might be, but we have to get it to find out. But then Black Iron. This is from Extended Crafting Expanded, which is alliteration. It takes HDPE, compressed slates, and wyvern cores, or blank runes, enderium, enhanced redstone, and empowered void crystal. Enhanced redstone is in a different crafter that takes redstone ingots and flux stars. Flux stars is gold and nether stars. So this is the first step towards doing this automation process, just to get ME cells, creative items. Yeah, that's a lot, but we are still here. All the way back down at the beginning of the pack. Go ahead and grab some string. Only 26 pieces. That's unfortunate. We're going to need quite a bit more than that. Let us take our first 26 and make a bed. Okay, let's sleep the night away, set our spawn. We'll also want to set home. We'll /set home, so that when we do /home, it'll teleport us back right to this spot. We do have 1 block of water. That'll be important later. Let's get some more string going. While we look at the next step on the thing, it wants us to get a sieve, so let's go ahead and do that. Sieves are easy. Take some slabs. 2 more pieces of wood. Okay, we're gonna start with 1. Sieve and a mesh. We're gonna put it right here. Real fast. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of wood planks into some slabs. Let's expand our base out. We're not going to use oak slabs for very long. I do want to try and actually make a relatively pretty looking base this time. Just because I always do really basic, boring bases, and I want to... This one's going to run a while. I'm not going to be doing this every single stream. because that'll just get really, really boring after a while. So we're going to go ahead and start playing some other stuff. I want to start playing some other games besides Minecraft. But we'll see. This pack is gonna be the pack we're playing for quite some time. So when we stream Minecraft, it might be this or another pack. Maybe even vanilla at some point, even though I hate playing vanilla. Let's spice up the corners, make them look all nice. I have played other games on stream before, but I don't think I recorded them, so they didn't end up on the YouTube. Yeah, I want to start branching out, doing more stuff. Playing like new game releases and stuff like that. But for now, this pack is going to be our main pack until we find something better. It does give us 3 more sieves, which is nice. Gives us a 2x2 for us to use, which is pretty good. I do want to see about if I can already upgrade these meshes into flint meshes. This takes 4 flint, takes 12 pieces of gravel per. Might be okay, we might be able to do that actually. We currently have 48, which is exactly enough to level up all 4 of our civs. I think, if my math is done correctly, so 4 saves and then, yeah, 4 flint meshes. Fantastic. Okay. Means that we skip a step, which is okay. So with the flint one, sand now has a chance of getting us gold. Has 2 chances of getting us gold. But we start to get inferium, which is good. I want to get an inferium seed going in a hopping botany pot as soon as possible. Dust gets us redstone. Because I think with the base mesh, we're not really getting much. Yeah. Not much of anything at all. So let us do all of the gravel. Let's see if this is dependent on speed or not. It's not. But it is much faster to do it with my auto clicker. Nonetheless. Okay, let's do 2 chests. We'll put them right here. We'll just dump everything out of our inventory. We will worry about organization later, once we get into like AE2 and stuff like that. This pack does have AE2 and refined storage, but I am a fan of AE2 over refined storage any day. I used to be a much bigger fan of refined storage over AE2, but I learned how to use AE2, and now I prefer it way more. It's way more versatile, a lot harder to understand for the first time. Refined storage is way more beginner-friendly, but AE2 just, you're able to do so much more. Avaricious, like, you made 1 crafting table, which apparently is an achievement in their eyes. There are a couple things, like in here, there's a bunch of bosses to kill. They want us to do the entire Twilight Forest. It wants us to kill a bunch of mobs. Lots and lots of bosses. And this is mob grinding utilities. I have used it in every pack. which is we will be using here, but probably not the entire time, because there is a mod in this pack called Born to Chaos. Born in Chaos. This adds a whole bunch of monsters that are spawned on anywhere a mob could spawn. And a lot of these mobs are really, really hard to kill. And if you kill too many yourself as the player, it spawns Krampus, who shows up, just starts beating you to death. He takes items out of your hand, so you're not hitting him with your strongest weapon anymore. He sucks. So we will be using this mostly because of these, the Smoldering Infernal Ember. These can be used to make fell soil, which in a botany pot is 1.25 times speed. Inside of a botany pot, most things are 1 to 0.95. But Supremium Farmland, besides Ultimate Block, but in the stuff we can get relatively soon, Fell Soil's 1.25. Supremium Farmland is 1.3, which makes the Fell Soil equivalent to Imperium Farmland from Mystical Agriculture, which is really, really strong. We can get the Infinity Block. It's a 2.5 times speed. The Infinity Block is 9 Infinity Ingots, which is 9 of these graphs. It's not going to happen. White matter is way down the Aeternalis timeline. As Aeternalis turns into Mobius Fuel blocks, Mobius Fuel turns into Magenta, Magenta turns into pink, turns into pink, pink turns into purple, purple turns into violet, violet turns into blue, blue turns into cyan, cyan turns into green, so on and so forth. We are nowhere close to getting infinity. But it does add a bunch of completely useless items. They are probably useful to somebody, but to me, I have not found a use for them. Stuff like monster flesh and maggots and ethereal spirits and orbs and different kinds of bones and skulls. You can turn them into like bone meal, but for the most part, nothing that is produced in that mod we are going to use. But that's fine. We are going to get a lot of this stuff. You know, weapons and armor and all sorts of stuff. Hostile neural networks we're going to have to get into, because we actually need to automate every single one of these. So there are 3 or 4 items called ultimate items. So this is the ultimate prediction. And the ultimate prediction is these 3 work in project cube items plus neutronium. But these predictions, this one is the miscellaneous prediction, which is like Twilight Forest predictions. This one is boss predictions, so it's all of the bosses in the game, which includes the Twilight Forest bosses. And then there's the vanilla predictions, which is all of the vanilla items. So there are just a lot of predictions that we need automated. So we're going to have to automate the entirety of hostile neural networks. Once we get enough, we can make the ultimate infinity essence, unless it's been removed from the game. Interesting. No, here it is. The ultimate infinity seeds. So technically, we only need 8 ultimate predictions. And then 8 ultimate gem. I think it's 8 of each of the ultimate items except the ultimate ingot. We're going to need 16. I think that math works out. But then we're also going to need divinium and ultimate blocks, which are rosarium blocks around an ultimate stellar star, which is something to do with the miners that we can get. We want to be mining for these in the tier 8 miner. But yeah, there's a lot that we're going to have to automate. We're going to have to get everything going, running in the background. Mystical agriculture is another one. We are going to need to automate every single one of these seeds in order to get it's not the creative essence, but this right here, the infinity essence. So every tier 1 seed combines together for a super essence, every tier 2 seed, 3 seed, 4, 5, 6, plus creative essence. Creative essence is made by a lot of a couple essences, and then just a lot of inferium essence. And then that is then again used to make the ultimate infinity seeds. The ultimate infinity seed is also needed to make the energy cell, but the infinity seed cannot go in a botany pot. So we have to manually do this with an ultimate block underneath, which is made of 9 ultimate ingots. So there's a lot of automation because in order to automate the ultimate ingots, we're going to need to automate all of these ingots, so on and so forth. That is way down the line. As of right now, all we need to do is go per quest and just check this little checkbox in every quest line so that we can get everything started and get a couple extra free seeds. We also do get to change how many channels our AE2 system uses. We're going to have infinite channels because I cannot be bothered to have to count channels and all of that. Let's go ahead and there we go. Channel is now infinite. There we go. That is all that we need. Let us keep going down this quest line. There is refined storage. I might get into it just for the ability to get extra apothic coins. Stuff like the netherite crafter will get us infused coins, which is 9 of the base ones. So yeah, we might get into this just so that we can get extra coins, but we will do that after we've gotten into AE2 so that we can get coins to be all... not coins. So that everything that we do can be auto-crafted. This... is it in here? Yes. This armory cabinet is something we're going to want to get, especially if we have a mob farm. It stacks unstackable items such as weapons, tools, armor. But it does cost a netherite ingot, so we are not anywhere close to getting that. There's so many checkmark quests, and each checkmark quest does give us a coin, so we'll want to get into them. Solar flux is what we're going to be using at the beginning to do our power. In my test world, I was actually able to run pretty much my entire AE2 system through all the way up till the point that I was automating nitro crystals off of 2 solar panel 7s, and these go all the way up to neutronium and then infinity. So these solar panels are quite strong, but they do not work when the sun's not out. So we will be replacing them eventually with power. But for now, it's fine the way it is. Just need to hit all these check marks. Get started. Some of them require an item, some of them just require hitting a check mark. Okay, this will require us to get a wrench, but we'll hit the check mark just to be prepared. Keep on going. We'll start with Botania. This is actually really, really easy to get started with. Botania, once you get down here, becomes a lot easier because at this point is when you get Terra Steel and Elf Steel. And that is all that is required to get into, or not Elf Steel, Elementium. Elf Steel's the other one. But this allows us to get mechanical parts of this system, and that allows us to automate it using refined storage, AE2, whatever you want to use. Blood magic, we will also have to get into. There is not a single mod in this that I do not believe that there is a single mod that we don't have to get into. Project E, like I said before, is something we're going to have to not be able to get to anytime soon because we have to first start with the Philosopher's Stone. There's actually a full quest line solely for the Philosopher's Stone to let you know when you have all the items. Because we need all of these, including an ultimate singularity, which is all of these singularities. So we are not going to be able to get this until mid to late game. This is a mod that I did not even attempt to mess with. Hi, Nethrox. I have not gotten into this mod pack at all, or this mod. But this is an auto miner. We'll probably get into it this time just so that we have extra stuff working in the background. There are apothic furnaces all the way up to Insanium. And the Insanium one gets us an Ascended coin. So we will be probably working through that. There is all the Modium, but it's not as strong as in all the mods packs. And we actually craft all the Modium. I think there's something to do with it. Yeah, right here with the advanced crafter. We craft it with soul infused, refined glowstone, energetic alloy, and nitro crystals. That is way down the line. We'll get there eventually. Extended crafting is how we get into ender crafters and flux crafters and black iron. Then industrial foregoing. This quest line was made by Classy. Industrial foregoing is how we'll get into latex and soul laser and fluid lasers and all that fun stuff. There is Tinker's Construct in the mod. It's mostly for modifying weapons and armor with extra effects, but there are patterns. So we might be using Tinker's for the beginning to get our tools and basic armor together. Ender IO is in the pack. I haven't used Ender IO a lot, but I do know the basics, so we might use that a little bit. Pneumaticraft is in the pack, and I hate Pneumaticraft, so we're going to avoid it as long as we can, but it is required for the end game eventually. Just Dire Things is also in the pack, and I am actually a fan of Just Dire Things and the way that it works, so we might get into that when we need to, but we also need to get into it for Eclipse Alloy. So we will get there. There are trophies these will all give us ascended coins. So they will give us trophies and coins. These will give us a coin when we get the trophy, which is a little different because the trophy is a chance to drop from the mob. So we would have to kill like 100, 200 Elder Guardians before we got the trophy to get an Ascended coin. Even these Twilight Forest ones, because they don't want the trophy from Twilight Forest, they want the Open Blocks trophy of the Twilight Forest. It's a little different. These mobs are actually really easy to kill, except Ignis. And some of these give us the trophy from killing the mobs, some of them want the trophy to get an Ascended coin. And of course there's the Piglich, which I've actually never killed, ever. There's the Mutant Monsters. This is kind of a terrifying mod pack. These monsters are massive. Titania, we're going to have to kill Guardian of Gaia anyway. The Pink Wither is just a weird thing for us to kill. Then there are these challenges. So we're going to check this. These are epic challenges. They are challenges that have weird stuff, like breeding animals, blocking damage, opening the furnace, jumping, catching stuff with a fishing rod, placing blocks with wands, enchanting. This one is a really easy one, the crafting table and furnace. And then in legendary challenges, there's also one for chests. So these ones in legendary challenges give us a legendary loot crate and an Ascended coin. So in epic challenges, these will give us coins, each one of these, up to infused coins. And then the legendary challenges will give us reward boxes and Ascended coins. These are deposited in a quest screen. These ones are completed and give an epic reward instead of a legendary reward. We can submit 64 nitro reactors, 512 ultimate catalysts, supreme blocks, stuff like that. These ones up here are a little easier, except this pig one. But we will be getting to these. I actually have a way of making these ones really, really easy. So I might do those pretty soon. We'll have to see. And then of course there's the quest line for the creative items. But we aren't anywhere near these. I mean, they want us to get the Infinity Catalyst from Avaricia before we can start working on those, and we're not close to that. But that's the whole quest line. We're going to do as many quests. I might even gun for 100%. I'm not sure yet. But to get started, we should probably do a couple quests. Let's do some gravel. So that we can sieve it. Okay. We did not get a lot, but we did get enough flint for us to do this flint shears quest. We are going to need a crucible. Oak crucible. We are going to need to get some leaves. That's not going to grow because it's underneath this mana flash, but we can do it over here. And then I just need some leaves. I did not want to do that. Let's say you get wood chippings. Wood chippings can be used to make paper, so it's not the end of the world. Paper sponges can be composted into dirt. That is all fine. So we want to put down this crucible. We want to put it over a torch? No, we can just put it down. And we want to put in 4 leaves. We did get a couple pieces of iron. let us get a furnace going. Oh, I muted the chest. Okay, because I know why I muted the chest. So, like I was saying, there's these legendary challenges, and there's a chest legendary challenge to get 10,000 chest opens. And if I do this, it opens really, really fast, but there is an epilepsy warning with that one. So we're gonna not do that. I do not like these iron ore chunks. They turn into iron ore, not the raw iron. But it's fine. Go ahead and do tiny coal. So we don't waste anything. You can just smelt this without breaking it first. But if you get like, not looting, but fortune, fortune will allow you to get more raw iron out of the iron ore. I probably will never bother to do that. Because I could just run it through a crusher to get a chance to get gold and iron, or even a mechanical squeezer for a chance to get 3. I can use it, apparently, to grow mushrooms. Cool. But most likely, I will just be running it through a smelter as is, just to get an extra piece. We are going to use these first 3 iron to make a bucket, so that we can make infinite water. I'm going to grab this water. We are going to build a little platform right here. Just like this. Because I prefer square infinite water sources over the line that a lot of people tend to use. And infinite water source. Okay. Let me drop all these books and wrenches and all that. And that's up to water. Gives us a couple coins and a sapling. And then regular furnace. So there is iron furnaces in this pack. We will be using them. Netherite furnaces are really, really, really fast. This generator upgrade is really, really, really crappy. It is not worth the time to craft it. So we will not be bothering to do that. So the next thing that we need to do is make, what is it called? A barrel. Go ahead and make an oak barrel. So we can use this barrel to make dirt and clay. That is the other reason I have a bucket. So we are going to want to do a lot of clay. We're going to make some gravel into sand, into dust. I do not care about the sand, so we're just going to make a bunch of dust. Now, I believe that I can use 1x compressed. I can't. So it stops at 1x, though. So I can't make 2x compressed except by crafting 9 of them together. We are going to compress this to 3 compressed dust. And we are going to make some clay. That turns into regular clay. Now we have 27 in a 1/9 of the time. So that's that. It gives us 8 more. And then what I want to do is, let's make a porcelain crucible that requires 7 pieces of porcelain, which is 7 pieces of bone meal. So we're nowhere close on the bone meal, and that comes from sieving dust, which is why I didn't get rid of all this. We're going to sieve it down really, really slowly, apparently. That was not enough, so we are going to break this down and make another batch of 32 dust. And then we will sieve all of that. And we'll see how much we have. 6. Dang it. I need a little more than that. Is there a way that I can make it as of right now? No. No, there is not. So we will need to just make some more. Start with just 4. Turn into 8, and then 16, and 32. Okay. And now let's go ahead and do it again, and hopefully get that one last piece we need. Okay, we did. Barely. Okay. So, let's go ahead and make 7 pieces of porcelain. Turn these 7 pieces of porcelain into an unfired porcelain crucible. And then we make a crucible. It needs to be over any heat source, and put some cobblestone into it and it will turn into lava. And then using that lava, we will make a cobble generator, which we will need. So this, talking about heat sources for the crucible and all that. Let's grab it. Grab the apothic coin, check this checkbox. Okay. There are a couple of things that we can use as heat sources. 7 pages of them. So that totals to 22 heat sources. We are not going to be able to get magma blocks anytime soon. Not able to get yellorium blocks, infinity blocks, blazing crystal, neutronium, Sanite. Torches is a 1x multiplier. Lava's a 3x multiplier. Soul fire is a 5x. Soul torch is a 2x. Regular fire is a 5x multiplier. A campfire is a 2 times multiplier. Okay. I do not have the iron in order to make a flint and steel, so we're going to go ahead and make a bonfire. Campfire? Whatever you want to call it. So we are going to go ahead and look up a campfire. We're going to go ahead and craft it. And then we will put it down. We're going to put it down right here. Crucible on top. 4 pieces of cobblestone in there. And then we just need 3 more iron and a piece of glass. So we need a bunch of gravel. Eventually we'll get an auto sieve. For now, this is what we got to do. Okay. Did get more iron. I threw the rest of the iron in here. And then I'm gonna make some more tiny coals. Tiny coal takes a coal, splits it into 8. A piece of coal can smelt 8 items. A piece of tiny coal can smelt 1 item. Just a good way to not waste any coal if we're not smelting a multiple of 8. Because once it takes the piece of coal, The furnace will continue using it until it runs out of fuel, even if there's nothing to smelt. Okay, now we have enough for a bucket. Now I need a piece of sand. This has the life for one more, so we'll just go ahead and, yeah. And we have 3 more pieces of iron, which I can use to make a tool or something like that, but I haven't decided what I want to do with it. We're just going to put it off into our inventory. We need 1 piece of sand and some logs. Okay. Need more logs than that. I wish they would give me bigger trees. Minecraft is just wanting me to get shoved under a tree, apparently. They're like, just crouch. Fine. Okay. Need 1 bucket of water. And then I need that bucket of lava. Now I could use that lava to turn this from a ×2 multiplier to a ×3 multiplier. But that's not that important. So we are not going to bother with that. So we are just going to make a cobble gen, which is what it's called. I always thought that they were just cobble generators, but it is just called a cobble gen. Then the tier 2 one requires the tier 1, so we are not going to need anything yet. We will need a tier 2 eventually. But as of right now, we only need the 1 piece of glass, and then we can make some cobblestone. In the meantime, I need 10 pieces of cobblestone, and that's it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Let us go ahead and make some more gravel. Okay. Just because I know I need more iron. Always need more iron. And this chest is not anywhere near big enough. We are going to need so much storage space. It is a little ridiculous. Okay, we're almost done here. This will finish this quest. Need to make some dirt. I can use the iron to upgrade to an iron furnace, but that takes 8. We have a total of 7. Okay, let's go ahead and just use this to make the cobble gen like I was planning. We just need drawer. We'll go ahead and put the cobble gen right here, because I'm going to want to pick it up before too much longer to upgrade it to the next tier. Let's go ahead and get the next bucket of lava going. We could, with this amount of iron, upgrade it to tier 3. Might be a pretty viable option. But we'll see. Okay. I could also use it to make a hopper and get started on a hopper botany pot. These are all viable, but we will start by taking however many leaves we have left and making a piece of dirt. Because this is pretty slow. I think it's 1 every 2 seconds. 1 misses. 2 misses. Yeah, every 40 ticks. Okay, how much dirt does the questline want me to have? 8. All right. We're gonna make enough to make a hopper botany pot plus a hopper. So 2 hoppers. Because if I need to make a bunch of dirt, I might as well just automate the process of getting dirt. So, how much iron are we looking at? Another 7. We'll make some coal. Chest is full. Storage is already an issue, so I just know that before too much longer, we're gonna have like a wall of chests. It's gonna be ugly. But it's fine, it's the beginning. We're just starting. Nothing too crazy yet. I think I just need to wait on this lava. Okay, we will focus on getting the hoppers. And then we will go from there. Is that the best course of action? I think so. I think it's a pretty good course of action to take. Mostly because it's really easy to set up. And we will need dirt a lot if we want to set up farms in the future, like animals. But, we'll see. We'll see. Nothing that we need vitally right now. Or wood. For what I am thinking of doing. I blinked out of existence there. Actually, no, I just need 2. 2 chests. Excuse me, that is not what I asked to do. Turns into 2 hoppers. And then a botany pot is 3 of those plus 5 of those. Let's preemptively put a hopper down into the furnace there. Hopefully I remember how this organization needs to go, where those sides should work. It might have to be the top. We'll see. And then we are going to make a cobblestone pickaxe. Or I guess a stone pickaxe is the proper term. And then I want to make a second oak barrel. With a plank on top. Oh, I need 1 more hopper to make this work. Dang it. To do what I wanted to do, I need 1 more hopper. I can't even sieve this through this anyway. So, do I have any iron just laying about? No, not really. You have stone pebbles. Those do turn into cobblestone, which is nice. Okay. I just need 3 more pieces of iron. Then we can make this work. That got me 1. Okay. Guess I'm gonna have to break a few more than I thought I would. That is okay, though. Okay, let's see how much iron we got after that. We've got 2, 3, 4. Yep. That is enough. This didn't work. Needs to be on top. Okay, to do all of that, those, and those. Okay, so the plan is that we're going to get a drawer. You're going to put the drawer right here. You're going to put a hopper into the back of it right there. And we're going to put that there. Now, we're going to get one more hopper, which is why I'm one short. I didn't think about it. Because I need one more because I need to make the hopper botany pot, but I want the hopper botany pot to sit on top of a hopper. Which doesn't make much sense for the way that hopper botany pots work, but for my idea, I think it's necessary. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Okay. I need one more chest. Make a hopper. And I need this hopper. We're gonna go ahead and sleep, just in case there's a chance mobs spawn. I'm not equipped to deal with them right now. And then we are gonna make a botany pot, a flower pot, botany pot, hopper botany pot. And this is gonna go in the behind this right here, hopper botany pot. Piece of dirt. And then, good, we still have the one piece of bone meal. Seeds. So this is going to grow into wheat. It is then going to hopper out of this hopper botany pot into this hopper. Everything produced by this wheat will then go into this to turn into dirt, and the dirt will be pulled out into this drawer. Now we have automated dirt. So we shouldn't have to worry about that for a little bit. We have 3 extra iron. That's fine. Yes, I wanted to upgrade this. That's what I was doing. There is no tool on this. I could break it with my hand if I wanted to. But that does mean that it mines as slow as anything else. So, 1 bucket of lava, 1 bucket of water, in here, level up to tier 2, quest. That makes it, I believe, every tick, or every second. Yeah, so 1 cobblestone every second, which is every 20 ticks. Does this work? Hold on. I don't know if regular dirt works. It does. It just takes a full minute. Okay, yeah, it is growing. Oh, it already grew once. Cool. I didn't notice. We are going to put the rest of our leaves in here. And we can just let that go. That's fully automated, self-sufficient. Fantastic. I do think that I should start working on this. What I actually want to start working towards is automatic. It would just be really nice to not have to worry about it anymore. So I will also need a regular mesh, but I can sieve the dirt. I do not. Oh, I do have more planks. Thought I was running out. So let's go with slab. Dang it. We'll make 1 more sieve specifically for the dirt. It'll be over here. That way we don't have to worry. I think I want to get another hopper botany pot and start automatically growing wood. That way we have some in the backlog without having to think about it. Basically, I want everything I could ever need automated so that I never have to worry about it. I can just use it. So cobblestone, dirt, wood, wheat eventually. And then I want an auto hammer so that I can just tell it to break stuff and it will. Nice and easy that way. Sorry. Just taking a drink of my drinky drink. Okay, we do have this empty barrel I can use for a little bit of storage. So we're gonna need a lot more iron. I want to upgrade the furnace. I want to upgrade the meshes. This is going to take 16. This is going to take 8. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an iron hammer. And we are going to use the last piece of iron to make an iron wand. There's a quest. Oh, wants me to use a stone wand. That's okay. It's just 2 sticks and a piece of cobblestone. I don't need it, so it's gonna go off the edge, but can be useful. So we're gonna do a 16, a 4x4. And then we're just going to do that. We're going to use our stone hammer and we're going to make our way down. This is going to make us a total of 4 stacks of gravel. We're going to use up as much of this hammer as we can. Okay, it's dead. That's good. And right here. Cool. 4 stacks plus 4. So let's dump our inventory out of everything that's not the gravel. And then we are going to automate this. It should pull from our inventory into our hand when we run out. At least it's supposed to. It doesn't always with some things, which is a little annoying. Like if I'm building, it won't pull into my hand when I run out of a block. But you can always middle click for that and it'll do it all for you. ASMR over here. Okay. That's 16. 16. 19. 46 pieces of iron. I'd say that's pretty good. I think that is plenty. And then once we get our furnace up to probably gold, I think it's iron then gold. Beginning, iron then gold. Yeah. And I think gold takes, yeah. So gold will take 16 pieces of gold, but might have that. No, not even close. I have 9 pieces of gold. So I should start sieving sand, because sand has a higher chance of getting us gold than gravel does. The raw gold comes from sand. So on our current level, we have a 5% chance of raw gold and a 5% chance of gold ore chunks. So 5%, 5%. So yes, we should be doing sand, but we might as well be doing gravel because it gets us everything else. plus a very, very, very small chance of getting diamonds or emeralds on our current level. But we do have enough iron to level this up to iron, which takes this to 10, 10. And over here to a 10% chance, a 1% chance of getting emerald diamond. Okay. I think we still go this route because we do need a lot of iron. Or no, wait, hold on. Because does sand give us... Sand gives us inferium. I need a lot of that. Okay, we're going to use this first 13 to make 2 hoppers. So that we can start automating our furnace. Go ahead and get 2 chests. Turn one of these chests into a drawer. And we've got 1 goes into the back, 1 goes into the top. Back is the chest, or the drawer, top is the chest. Do need 1 more. And then I want to move this entire thing. Because I just realized, no, I could just move the crafting table. Okay. Crafting table is going to be over here. Go ahead and make 1 more hopper. And I need a tree, but let's just sleep the night away. Alright, I'm sure someone can see my plan. We're gonna make this furnace completely automated. So let me grab a sapling. Right here. Another small tree. There we go. Big tree. Okay, I'm pretty sure that went into hopper. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it just fell off the edge and I'm looking for nothing. Okay, now that we have wood, I need another 2 chests. Might as well just make 4 because I know I'm going to need more storage anyway. That's going to go right here. The hopper can go on the back of that chest, and it will pull the outputs out of the furnace. So we are then going to throw the iron ore up in there. We're going to grab a bunch of coal and tiny coal. Create a bunch. Throw it in the drawer. It'll restock the tiny coal at the bottom. And now we have an automated furnace. Although now I do need to break it to make it an iron furnace. Okay. Got our furnace. Regrab our iron ore. So, upgrade the furnace. We're just going to surround it in some iron. Iron furnace. So, this is now our auto furnace. And now that I have done this, waste of my time. Okay, let's fix this. So, iron furnaces actually have the capacity to do this all themselves. Go ahead and grab all this, back in there, grab this. I don't have an axe on me. I should just go make one real quick. We are going to make an iron axe. Grab the chests. Whoops. Okay, now we just need to hope that none of this flies off the edge. There we go. So, this iron furnace is completely by itself automatable. We're going to put the iron furnace right there. we're gonna put the coal right there. We're gonna put the chest right here, and chest in front of it. This is going to fuel from the back, input from the top, output from the front, nothing from sides. So this right here, we're gonna auto input. I'm gonna start pulling coal and the iron. And then we give it just a second to smelt that. Once it finishes, there we go. And then we're going to tell it to auto output. And now it's in the chest. Now I have 3 extra hoppers I can do stuff with. And this furnace by itself has completely automated our smelting. So now we're going to replace down our barrel. I didn't actually mean to break it. Dump our inventory. Grab all of these ore chunks. Plus this raw gold. And then we're going to go down the line and compress them. Okay. This should smelt through all of our stuff. It is marginally faster. It is nowhere near as fast as anything down here. But the iron furnace, I believe, is 0.25% faster, or 0.25 times faster. So 25%. And then it also gives us a stone to iron furnace upgrader so that we can do a second furnace to iron for our personal use, because this is now just our automated chest. But I might as well have that going. So let's go ahead and upgrade regular furnace. That is not where I wanted that. We're going to put that up here and upgrade it to iron. That way, whatever chest we decide, or not chest, whatever furnace we are using ourselves is also faster. We're going to turn all of our coal into tiny coal and just grab a stack. Boom. Great.